Hi and welcome to my playhouse and to the creepy basement. So today I have gotten a new gadget to maintain or check up on my battery banks, and yeah, we're gonna have a little look at that. This is a $50 thing from AliExpress. Here it is. It's a battery monitor. This is my battery banks. These are 14S10P, meaning that there's 14 cells in series and there's 10 cells parallel, and I can connect this battery monitor to the system and I can get a readout on what the voltage is on all of the 14 battery cells. So I've been messing around with this one, trying and balance it out manually with the new power supply that I did a video on not that long ago. But I found that this works really well. It gives you a very good overview of what is going on the cell. And yeah, I think we'll just disconnect this and have a closer look. It looks like someone did some homework and made this. So it doesn't do a lot of stuff. There is like a power connector and there is a USB-C connection, but that is also just for power. Then there's 25 connector pins here. That's because this device can do up to an S24. I'm only using an S14, but it can do 10 cells more than I'm using. It has the same pins over here, just smaller width between the pins. So this and this is a copy of each other, just with a different pin layout. Then there is absolutely nothing on the other sides, which is kind of weird. It has an SD card up here for the screen. I have no idea. It doesn't say anything about what that does or if it's even in use. It doesn't do a lot. It just gives you a good overview of how the bank is doing. So you plug it in and you plug power on and you get a readout of all of the cells. And before I got this, I was using the multimeter and measuring every 10 cells to see what the voltage was. And well, that was tedious work. So I was looking to improve that because, well, it's tedious work. Always try to get rid of tedious work. And I was looking at getting 14 small battery meters and I would build something on a block of wood. Well, then I came across this thing and said, I don't want to do that work if I can just get this. Let's plug it in again. It starts down here at, it has text on the pins here, but this one is B minus, the most negative one, and then it goes positive up here. And the same thing over here, B minus, B1, B2, B, blah, blah, blah. I have a BMS on my system here. Right now it's unplugged because I've been connecting this. And it goes in the same cable here. So, but it goes in a little bit weird, so I haven't made this cable very long. There, you should put something under there, you really should. There, and then we plug power in, and power is just, it comes from a USB, and when we pop that in, it turns on and it gives me all the voltages. Here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 14. It gives us the total voltage of the package, the maximum voltage, the minimum voltage, the difference voltage, how many strings there are. So this is an S14, and then there is room for 10 cells more. And it tells us down here how the battery status is from what it thinks it should be. So this battery is average. It started out being really bad, so it has been improved quite a bit. I am putting a bit of charge in one of the cells here. This is number 11. It's here and goes down that way. And on the display here we can find 11, and that is right now at 4.118 volts. So that's not the lowest anymore. We can see over here the minimum voltage is 4.092, and that's number 9 up here. So if we move the power over to number 9, so I've removed power from 11 and the voltage has dropped ever so slightly. It always does that, and I've ready it so that we can power on number 9, which is up there. And when we put the connections in there, we should see it going up. 4.0 yeah, it went up to and now we can see that the minimum voltage on this is now another cell, and the difference down here has become smaller. So that way I'm charging them up a little bit at a time. It takes a while to put this very last bit of voltage on the cells, those few millivolts, to get them aligned. But yeah, it is also kind of fun, and this is gonna help a lot. So in here in the battery room, I have these 4 banks up and running. I have been negotiating with myself if I could fit another bank in here and put it on the shelf. Negotiations are still going on, but I want to check if there's any of the banks that are not good in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn them off, and I'm gonna measure the voltage of the whole bank, and then we're just gonna disconnect the one with the lowest voltage and check it out. Make sure that it's not too bad. It could be. So let's keep number 4 on and turn the first 3 banks off, and then measure those. I see 55.41, 55.43, 55.45. So bank number 1 is the lowest one. Let's just check number 4. 55.45. So bank number 1 is the one that is lower, but with like almost nothing. It's so close that yeah, not sure we're gonna find anything, but we're gonna check. We're gonna turn that on again, and we're gonna turn number 1 off. Disconnect that and go check it. Here the whole bank, there is a voltage difference of 44 millivolts, 44 thousandths of a volt. So yeah, we're gonna disconnect this and try and swap those 2 batteries around. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4. So the one closest to us is the one that we are disconnecting. And we just disconnect that. I have turned it off here, and we just move the battery out of here. Just gonna set it here. Oh, I might as well move it in. And here is the one that I've just been balancing. So I'm gonna slide that in. There. And connect that. That goes down. There. And when I turn that on, the voltage should go up a little bit because it has higher voltage, and it did about 500 millivolts ish. So that's fine. They're gonna be balancing out. Sun is not shining very much today, so it's not as if we're getting much sun in, but it usually charges up anyway. Here is the bank that we just took out, and I'm gonna try and disconnect the cable here. I see there is a bit more space. I've left some more room for maintenance. That's great. Makes it a bit easier. Cool. And we can try and connect this. There. I think you should get a first glance as well and see where we're at, how bad this is. Oh, yeah, it doesn't like that. We have a difference of 216 millivolts. Status poor, please maintain. So yeah, we have some low cells here we need to get up. It's not critical. I'm sure this still produces power. If it's really bad, the BMS will have shut it down, but I don't believe that is the case. So which one do we have to work on? We have to work on that one, 3.784. That's number 3. Okay. So over here I count 1, 2, 3. So we are working here. I have this tiny bit of metal that I put down here. I'll jack it up. Make sure that it has a good connection using. Oh, so that is 3. Yeah, that's we have plus on that side. plus over here. We kind of don't want to overcharge it. If I charge this up to 4.1 blah blah blah, I will have to charge all of them. I see that the highest one is 4 volts. So I'm gonna make sure that we're not charging it higher than 4 volts. Maybe 4.01 or something like that. Adjusting the voltage on the power supply. There, 4.01. Otherwise it's way too much work. There, it's pulling almost an amp. So we will have that up in no time. And that was number 3, so we should see that rising, and we are there. It's slowly, but it's getting there. And in the meanwhile, it has picked another cell that is now the lowest. As soon as we start charging one cell, the voltage goes up. The next one we have to work on will be number 5. That also needs a boost, but I'll let this work for 20 minutes or something like that. And so I just moved it from battery pack 3 to battery pack 5, and now we are under a difference of 200 millivolts here, and we are charging pack number 5 ever so slightly. It takes a while, it doesn't charge fast the last little bit here. A little bit later, actually the next day, I have been doing individual cells here, or packs of cells, and right now we can see that the lowest one is 3.87, and that's number 3, and I've made that ready. Everything else is at 3.9. That one is at 3.8, but otherwise everything else is at 3.9. So when I connect this, I have the lead sitting right there. It has to be connected there, and we should see hopefully that red thing here going away, telling us, well, that this is a poor and badly maintained. So I'm gonna be connecting that. 3, 2, 1 now, and we see this going down. Maybe it takes a little bit. The voltage is going up. Okay, so this is taking longer than expected. So I've cheated a little bit. I have raised the voltage to 4.2 volts so that we will get there faster. I think when we reach within 100 millivolts, it will become ever so slightly better. So I've just connected it, and there it is. It became from red to orange or yellow. Now it just needs maintenance, and yeah, that's better than the other one. And now it's another cell that is the lowest, 3.910, that one. So that would be the next one to go for. So there's no reason not to multitask while we're waiting for the batteries to charge. So I can spot weld some fuses here. I am still very impressed with this tiny little spot welder here. It's so easy to use. Okay, we're ready to do the other side. I've just been cutting out this nickel plated thingy. I believe this is 0.12 millimeters. And I'm just gonna fasten it. This is going well. I fastened most of these. The start over here, well, until this part has been fully spot welded. Yeah, the spot welder is down to 1 bar, and I think to make sure that what do you say, that I get good spot welds, I'm gonna go and charge it just to be sure. It doesn't complain, or it doesn't seem to be doing a bad job at all, but I want to make sure it does the best job possible, so we're gonna turn it off. There. Awesome little spot welder. After some time we have cell number 3. It has risen up. It's not the lowest one by far now, so that's good. I am gonna be charging cell number 5 now. That's the lowest one, and when I start charging that, that should bring that down quite a bit. There, we're gonna charge it with 4.005, and yeah, we're looking at that one. And if I think we're gonna get below 50 millivolts now when we do that. Did we? Okay, it did change the status to that it's not very good, but well, it didn't become too bad. But and it went up again. Okay, it goes up and down a little bit. So it's charging here. So as it goes down, it should probably change the status to being better than not very good. This might be the most boring video ever, but well, I find it interesting. So yeah, charging cell number 5. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. We are looking at number 5 here, but I'm gonna increase the voltage so that the amperage goes up, so that we get more voltage, and we're gonna see what it looks like. I would think that about 50 millivolts difference here, we would see some difference. So I'm turning it up ever so slightly here. Yeah, we see the voltage going up, and my light goes out. We're at a difference of 60 millivolts. 55 millivolts here. There, battery status is average, so that must be like 55 millivolts difference. I'm turning it down so the voltage should drop again. Yeah, it's not very good at 63, so I'll try and increase the voltage again. 61, 60. 55, still not. As soon as we get below 55 millivolts in difference between all the cells, it's average. So okay, that's nice to know. Found out that the status becomes good there when there's under 25 millivolts difference. So yeah, getting smarter all the time. Okay, I've been messing with this quite a bit, so right now I am 8 millivolts off of this being in balance, and that is next to nothing, and it says that its battery status is good. So yeah, that has to be good enough. So that's the monitoring system that I've gotten to play with, and it takes a long time to balance this out manually. But it is easier than if I have to measure every one of these and check, oh, which one is now the lowest. Well, I can see here, and I can just put a bit of charge on individual cells. But I also got a smart BMS, which should be able to do active balancing. And this one even has Bluetooth, so it should be possible for me to replace this one with this one, and it should kind of do the job for me. So yeah, I wanna check that. Monitor is away, and the cable kind of, if we want this to look good, it needs to point this. Does it? No, it does not. Okay, it goes in that way. Let's see. It does not go in. Really, that connector does not fit. Well, it does fit, but it fits the wrong way. That is not good. No, it does not fit. That's a shame. But what this does is it does all the work that I've just done by myself. And I would be able to connect for this from my phone, where there's an app, and I kind of see the same thing as the monitoring system was seeing, just on my phone. Of course the cables are not compatible. That would just have been too convenient. So on that terrible disappointment of not being able to use this in this video, I will need to get some more cabling stuff, something that will fit in there. I really like this device. Now I have connected this battery bank back to the BMS, and it says charging over here. It's taking in 2 amps, 57 volts, which means that it's charging with 115 watts, which is a lot of power, but I can't see what it's doing. I would really like a connector coming out of here. I'm thinking of building something that I can put between this connector and that connector. Maybe a little PCB or something that can go in there, so that I can hook up another connector, and that would be able to go into this one, or it could go into this BMS thing, and I would be able to do stuff with the bank and check if everything is okay. I could go and purchase these BMSs for banks, but they are $55 a pop, where this one is like $11–12. So I can get 4 of these for the price of this ish. Kind of like this. It was really good for checking out what was going on in the bank and helping me to balance it out. I'll leave a link in the description. I believe it was around $55. Also, I do still really recommend this spot welder, and I can see in one of my other videos where I did a review of this spot welder that so does a lot of other guys. This spot welder is really selling. If you need a spot welder, it's still highly recommended. So, me trying out new gadgets in the basement. Some of them works great, some of them this one we'll have to get back to in a upcoming video when the postman from China drops in with some cables for me. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.